You know, I spent an awful lot of my early career as a reporter and editor, and what was always important was to try and remember who our audience was. And you know, when you're trying to capture your readers and tell a story to them, the first thing that I always had to remember, that I was trying to be fiercely conscious of, was who's my audience and what's the story I'm trying to tell them. I covered some dense subjects like state government and higher education, which weren't always necessarily fascinating to readers. So I had at times to work really hard to say, what's the nugget here that I can take away from this interview? And even during the interview, I was looking for those things. When I came back with my notes, I would say, what is it that I'm trying to communicate to the reader? I tended to want to worry less about my subject matter or the person I had interviewed, and I needed to worry about what was going to capture the reader on the other end, and that always made for much more compelling story writing. I remember reading a tremendous lead in a story decades ago about an earthquake in Japan, in Edo, Japan, and the lead was, "This town looks like someone picked it up 6 inches and dropped it." I wasn't all that interested in earthquakes, but I was really interested in that lead and reading that story because of it. I still have that story in my files because I thought it was such a great way to get me interested in that topic. So the point for me is think about that lead, think about the reader who's experiencing that story and what they'd be interested in, and find the nugget to start your story that way.